The Torero XO is one of the most expensive supercars in Grand Theft Auto Online, normally sitting at a price tag of $2.9 million. That is crazy! But this week, you are able to get the Torero for 40% off, sitting at $1.7 million. I would highly recommend for anybody that's watching this video and doesn't own this car to pick it up. In today's video, I'll be explaining why, but it's just because the Torero is one of the best supercars in the game. In today's video, I'll be showcasing everything you'd need to know about the Torero, the customization, top speed, and overall performance. So let's start off by making our way to Los Santos Customs and seeing what upgrades this vehicle has going for it. It's actually got quite a bit of options. One of the things I'm a big fan of is the fact that it has a pop-up spoiler on the back once you're going at a pretty reasonable speed. Now, because I already own a Torero, I'm going to try and make this one quite a bit different. The one I already own it's kind of bland, I'm not going to lie. It's just like a silvery color, and I want to make this one really pop. So I'm thinking maybe lime green and ultra blue. Something like that is really, I'm thinking of we're going to go for today. But I'm also going to try and give it some different customization. We'll show, obviously, the two different Toreros I own after I'm done customizing this vehicle, so you can get an idea of the different builds you can do. So let's start off with the armor. Let's give it the brakes, all the normal stuff. We do have some bumper options, as you can see. Unfortunately, the bumper options really don't do much for the vehicle. I mean, yeah, there's really not much customization when it comes to the bumper. I do like that carbon super splitter, though. Let's see what else we got. There's honestly not much. We can either do, yeah, we're just going to go for a carbon super splitter. We'll do a secondary, because I always like to have the little lines on the outside. Alright, well, we got some rear bumpers we can do. We've got the forged diffuser. I'm not a big fan of forged, personally. I just don't think it looks that nice, but I do like the secondary diffusers, so that's probably what we're gonna go with. Ooh, both of these are pretty nice. I'm actually gonna go for the secondary winged diffuser. I really like the way that just kind of overhangs, so we're gonna go with that. We got some canards that we can do on the side. We can also change the front, as we can see. I actually like the fact that it says Torero with the grill on the front, though, so I might stick with that. No, I'm not a huge fan of that at all. That one's actually not too bad. I do like that design, but I think I'm actually going to stick with it stock, and then we're just going to go with, we'll just go with carbon canards on the side. That actually looks pretty nice. We're going to do engine upgrades. Then we got a bunch of different exhaust options, but exhaust is really hard to honestly tell what we're doing here. I'm just going to go for turbo exhaust. They're chrome, which is pretty nice, and I think they match the back of the car as it is. We can change the back. This is the hood. Funny enough, you can't actually change the front hood yet, but we can change the back hood. Okay, well, there's not that much there, I'm gonna be real. We can either make it a long sloping design, or we can kind of do like a slat vented hood. I actually really like this cross vented hood. Out of all the ones we've gone over, yeah, I'm gonna stick with the cross vented. I think that one looks the best. We're obviously gonna do some xenon lights. We got some livery options. This is the one I have on my personal Torero, so I'm gonna try and do something different. We got a black Pegassi on the side, and this is obviously just a white version of that. We got a two-tone, not a big fan. We got white pinstriping, red pinstriping, okay, yoga, I'm not going to try and pronounce that because I'll mess it up. Street Casima, that one looks pretty nice. We got Redwood Rally, not the biggest fan of it. Split Digital, that one's not bad. Then we got Monochrome. I'm going to be real, I actually don't love the liveries for this vehicle. I think we're going to go for the Street Casima because I think that one looks the best. But yeah, I don't really think Rockstar did a great job in the liveries for this car. So I'm going to mess around with the colors really quick, and I'll see what I figure out I like the best. I have decided to paint this vehicle a sunset red. I think it really just blends in with the yellow on the back of this car and looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm a big fan of the livery that we've got going for this vehicle. I think it's really the only one that has some life thrown into it. We got some roof designs that we can do, which don't look too bad. Let me get a good look at the stock roof. Okay, and now we can make this one just have a little bit more lines on it. There's honestly not too much, although, ooh, I really like that streamlined roof. Yeah, we're obviously gonna go for the streamline. I'm gonna go for the streamlined carbon because I think that really matches the way that the car you know, has the glass on the back. So we're going to stick with that. Not going to sell it. We got some skirts that we can do. Once again, I'm not going to go with the forged because I'm not a big fan of them. That's a weird looking skirt. Yeah, okay, there's not a huge amount of customization with the skirts, but I think what I'm going to end up going with is the secondary performance skirts. I think these look really nice. The super skirts have almost too much on the side. I think it looks too obtuse, so I'm not going to go with that one. Okay, we can do a spoiler. We got a forged super wing, then just kind of a stock standard one. Okay, we've got a forged Pegasi wing. That one's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I like the carbon low level wing. And then we've got the forged performance wing. We got the forged extended ducktail. That one actually looks pretty cool. Then we got some more ducktail options here. Okay, and then we can just go with a forged or carbon wing. Well, I don't really see the carbon wing, I'm gonna be real, but I'm gonna go with the carbon wing because I feel like this vehicle is gonna look sick if we just have the pop-up spoiler on the back. So we're gonna stick with that. We got the competition suspension. We're going to do the transmission. We got some trunk designs, which again is kind of funny that the trunk is actually the front of the vehicle. Okay, so we can do a deep vented trunk. Then we can do a rally trunk. Not the biggest fan of that. We can do a ridgeline. Also not the biggest fan. We got a right vented trunk and a left vented trunk. And then we can just do a smooth one. Ooh. Kind of like the smooth. So the stock isn't bad. I'm going to go with the smooth. I just think it looks kind of clean with it. All right, let's do a turbo, and we got some vents that we can do on the side. Right now they're carbon, and I actually like the carbon. I'm going to stick with that. We got some wheels that we can obviously change. We're just going to do, we'll do classic wheels for this vehicle. So we'll go to high-end chrome, and I'm going to do the shadow, because I mean, it's a Lambo, and shadow wheels are like built to be put on a Lamborghini. And to finish off the car, let us do the limo tint windows. You can see my two personal Toreros in front of you. We've got the silver one with the Italian stripes down the center. I am a huge fan of this design. I think the car looks absolutely amazing in this color choice and the overall customization put on it. And then we obviously have the new one here, where we've got a different hood design. Instead of having a big ol' scoop, we just got a streamlined hood. And then, as you'll notice, we also don't have a spoiler on the back, which makes it look a lot more clean and aerodynamic. I think both designs for this car look amazing, and it's proof that you can make cars look amazing if you do very different customization. So obviously we're going to be messing around with this customized version today. You can also see that pop-up spoiler when we start to move. I actually think that spoiler looks absolutely fantastic, and I also noticed that the color of our car is underneath the spoiler, the sunset red. So that's just once again a really cool touch from Rockstar there. When it comes to performance, this vehicle is also very impressive, being able to achieve a top speed of 131 miles per hour. And let's use that speed right now to see just how good we can do on the lap time. Now, the Torero is not only fast, but it also has actually pretty good handling and acceleration. I won't say it's the best, because it's not. This is a very tricky car to drive, because it has so much acceleration. When you roll around a corner, you don't realize how fast you're going until you're actually at the corner, and then you're like, crap, I'm dead. So that's one of the problems I have noticed with the Torero, and it can get minor frustrating, because you just try rolling around these corners and you just die. But we're doing pretty good so far. Get around this car right there. Nice. We actually perfectly threaded the needle between that red car there too. Now we got Vinewood Hills, which is very tricky because obviously there's a lot of cars on Vinewood Hills, and sometimes they try to pull out in front of you. So we got to be very cautious about the cars rolling around this corner. Okay, there you go. We got a Porsche in front of us, but we got around it, and we got more cars here. But again, we're using that speed and we're getting around them. Okay, not too bad. We're at a minute on the clock so far, and we've just made it through the trickiest parts. Now we're at the downhill section. Now this area is pretty easy. All we need to do is keep our speed up and make sure we make it around these corners without dying, and we should be fine. As you can see, as long as you let go of the gas, so the car actually turns very well. Yeah, look at that. Super easy cornering capabilities. It's one of the things I really like about the Torero. I'm so glad that white car did not turn any faster, or we would have been redoing this test. But so far, pretty good. The best lap times I've been able to achieve on this course so far are in vehicles like the Krieger. We got 2 minutes and 15 seconds for the Krieger. I think 2 minutes and 16 or 17 seconds for the Emirates. So pretty solid lap times to those vehicles. The BR8, which is an open wheel car, we got 2 minutes and 10 seconds on, but that is a little bit different because it's kind of in its own class. We are at 1 minute 55 seconds so far, and we got 1 mile left. Now, again, this car is very fast, but I don't know if we're going to be setting any special lap times here. This car, as I said, doesn't feature the best handling because of how fast it is. It's very tricky. You got to press on the brakes a lot. But we're still going pretty fast here. I mean, this is really fast right now. So let's put on the brakes. We're at 2 minutes and 16, 17 seconds. Not bad at all, to be fair. We're going to finish this at around 2 minutes and 23 seconds. It's not great. I'll be honest. It's not the best lap time ever. It's not the worst. But I've had sports cars that can finish pretty similarly on the times. But what I will say is that the Torero isn't really about the lap time. It's about the speed. This car is fast, and it has insane acceleration. Because of that, it's really good for racing. And if you just want to drive and have a lot of fun, it's not like the Fister 811 where it doesn't feature great handling. I mean, this car has good handling. It's just a little bit worse than, you know, something like the Krieger or the Emrys, but it's still very, very good. So at the end of the day, I can easily say that you should pick this car up. I mean, it's 100% worth the price tag discounted, and you're not going to be disappointed. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.